There's a villain in this story. There's a villain in this story. He ain't got no need for the glory.
Track 5. Happy Thoughts. By 6th grade, the WWF's Attitude Era was starting to ramp up, and so were my aspirations to be a pro wrestler. My school district didn't have a wrestling program, although I did watch Monday Night Raw every week to practice and play along, chopping a defiant X over my crotch the moment I heard the first 3 words, "Are you ready?" from the D-Generation X entrance music playing over the Titantron. I jumped from the console television in my bedroom to perform leg drops and swanton bonds to my teddy bears as I watched Matt and Jeff Hardy do the same from the top turnbuckle. I saw myself as the king of pop for a weekend at a time thanks to VH1. They used to run Michael Jackson marathons, playing his entire catalog, from the Jackson 5 cartoon, to the Moonwalker film, to the You Are Not Alone video he shot with then-wife Lisa Marie Presley. Sometime after they played Billie Jean, the live performance from the Complete Bucharest tour, my grandma and I would make a run to the corner store for giant freezies and a hot pickle. It was the closest thing to a lull before the making of the Thriller video documentary aired, which, other than the iconic Motown 25th anniversary performance of Billie Jean, was our favorite part of the entire weekend. I wanted to be a TV chef when the Food Network hit the airwaves and I heard Emeril Lagasse say, "BAM!" for the first time. I wanted to be a pro ball player as I watched Michael Jordan and the Bulls pursue their second three-peat. I saw one episode of the Steve Harvey Show that featured a ghostwriter for R&B records and decided that could also be my calling. I could see myself as anything I could imagine when I grew up through the portal of art. Being a grown-up was still a one-day and far, far away problem to deal with. I wanted to be an actor in the meantime. I joined the drama club in 6th grade and found that playing make-believe in front of people was actually very liberating. No one will think I'm weird for expressing my emotions if the character is supposed to be feeling those things. Prior to that, my acting experience consisted of fully committing to whatever character I saw on the television and reciting movie lines in conversational context like it was my native language. I saw a preview one day. It was for the movie Money Talks, starring Chris Tucker. It didn't make me want to be a slick-talking, wife-beater-wearing ticket scalper on the run, wrongfully accused of murder. It did, however, inspire me to beg my grandma while we were at Kmart to buy me the DVD, a 3-pack of A-shirts, and a toy gun with a clip full of neon orange darts I shot at the TV while I watched the movie on repeat. I was a lot as a child. There was no yard to play in outside of my downtown high-rise my grandma lived in, but she always let me run free inside my imagination. She'd even come with me sometimes. A few times a year, Lona would rent me the major wrestling pay-per-view events. We'd feast on Pizza Hut and Pepsi while I cheered for the New Aged Outlaws, and she tried to keep a straight face while professing how much they knew they should be ashamed of themselves for letting someone run around with the name Mr. Ass. The acting did little to suspend her disbelief. However, she still lost herself in the storylines, occasionally allowing herself to be enraged by the vitriol of a shit-talking heel with mic skills. Watching Saved by the Bell wasn't my grandma's favorite block of programming either, but she'd always be invested by the end of the episode, even if only to talk some shit of her own. Lona hated the fact that they never gave Lisa Turtle a boyfriend, as pretty as she is. She still let me travel to Bayside every afternoon in spite of the subliminal racism she saw but no one else did. It did, however, cost me the toll of watching Murder, She Wrote, Little House on the Prairie, and Matlock as a means of compromising control over the remote. Real life often felt like a series of sitcoms to me. My grandma and I felt like a buddy comedy in which we shared equal billing. However, as far as the rest of my gigs were concerned, I was a side character at best, fighting for an A storyline. They all felt like separate shows from different genres with opposing ideas regarding the direction my character was supposed to grow in. To get more screen time on my father's show, I had to be into something he was into. That wasn't acting. He didn't believe in my idea to fast-track my acting career through traveling model searches and Holiday Inn banquet halls. His checkbook wasn't opening for headshots, but basketball camp and Jordans for my feet was a sound investment in my future. Sports were one of the few dialects my father and I were able to communicate and bond through. I loved playing sports, but was not all that interested in watching a full game longer than its highlights on SportsCenter. Whatever my dad's opinion was, I just agreed with it, and he appreciated that. We went to University of Minnesota Duluth basketball games together, but with the exception of listening to the marching band play the fight song, watching the cheerleaders dance to it, and waiting for Killer, the Bulldog mascot, to wave at me, I preferred to bring my own ball and shoot around in the side gym instead. We had a baseball phase as well. He housed players from the local farm league team, the Duluth Superior Dukes, in exchange for season tickets and the clout of hanging out with semi-pro ball players. Not to name drop, but Jose Canseco's brother Ozzy used to play Tiger Woods 99 PGA golf in my dad's living room. My dad worked constantly, and I didn't live with him full time, so having the players live with him offered incentive for me to come over and be around when he could catch a moment to breathe. Our attending games together consisted of him watching the game intently from the bleachers and me playing wall ball in 500 with the other kids in the open space near the bullpen. We will see you in track 6 when we go back to school. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Adult Storytime. You could have been anywhere else in the World Wide Web today, and you were here with me. I appreciate that. If you enjoyed today's installment of Adult Storytime, head over to adultstorytime.net to listen to the rest of this episode, along with the rest of the first season of How to Write a Novel in 5 Years, A Hero's Journey. It's 5 episodes set to the smooth sounds of Adam Herman and the Slamming Doors. And while you're there, check out the fictional audio series, Pete and Gwendolyn Grew Up. Another 5 episodes still set to the smooth sounds of the Slamming Doors. Now before you click over to adultstorytime.net, don't forget to feed that almighty algorithm with a like, follow, subscribe, and smash that old notification button so you know when I'm coming at you. Namaste, bitches.
There's a villain in the story. There's a villain in the story. There's a villain in the story. He ain't got no need for the glory.